with some extra theme music.
Yes, we were scrambling, and there was billowing dirt and vacuuming going on and all kinds of hecticness.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. Courtney vacuumed the whole studio with a brand new vacuum, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Now it's all going to settle on us.
We shut that door. I think it's going to settle in the bathroom out there where she dumped it. Oh, my God.
Man. We're still here.
Oh, somehow.
Still alive. But it's been a hard week.
It has been a hard week.
It's been a rough
and
week.
I can't put my finger on exactly why, but just a million.
Good Lord.
We'll try not to drag you guys down.
Oh, let's drag everybody down into the gutter with us. Why not? Sometimes.
Join us in this gutter, loved ones.
Yes.
Should I introduce the show before we gutter everyone?
Sure.
Oh, you guys have tuned in. I don't know what you turned into. You've turned into pumpkins. You have tuned into 11th Hour Radio with Christina Stikos and Emily Howe. Coming to you live from Royalton Community Radio, WFVR LP 96.5. You can find our podcast that will be much cheerier than this one on our website at 11thhourradio.com, or you subscribe on YouTube or iTunes, which is not called iTunes, Apple Podcasts. What else? Anything?
No, that was perfect. That was beautiful.
Great.
I have my agrimony tea.
Agrimony.
It's good for digestion.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a special treat
I should
today.
get some sort of fancy tea that's good for. I don't know. I think I have like a bladder infection or something again. I peed like 7 times in the night.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Not.
Where are these coming from? Can you get bladder infections just from like
stress?
Being pissed off all the time? Because
yeah,
I think
from hosting weddings. Yes.
I haven't had any weddings for ages. We've had our block of summer without the weddings, and so it's not that. I mean, they're about to start up again, but it's just so much. It's the start of school and soccer and irritation and money troubles and people troubles and just.
I don't know what to do.
Is there a tea for that?
There's lots of teas for it. Lots and lots of. Let's just go get into tea drinking.
I drink a lot of tea. It's been kind of cold lately, so I've kind of amped up my tea intake again. Which maybe I don't have a bladder infection. Maybe I'm just peeing a lot because I am actually drinking liquid again, which I mostly don't. I'm a highly dehydrated person. Mm-hmm. You know how like when the earth gets really dehydrated and cracked and it's like then a heavy rain comes and the earth is so solid that the rain can't soak into it. It just kind of like
that's
why
I
think that's what my organs are doing.
That's why I have my aerator spikes. I did some more. I did my lawn aeration.
You should probably walk all over
week.
me with those because I think that I don't drink enough so that when I do drink, the fluid doesn't soak into my body or my organs. It just like runs right out. Like the second I drink, I just pee it out.
Yeah, but it takes a while. There's an adjustment period. So I've heard this actually from a chiropractor. That your body has to adjust to absorbing liquids again. So don't give up. Keep it up. If you can get through this period of, excessive urination.
It's like I haven't even been drinking that much. Like if I really drink as much as you're supposed to drink, I won't have a life, man. I'll just be in the bathroom.
But you have great lawns at your house. You don't have to aerate with spikes, and I think that's to your advantage. And so use it.
Well,
be grateful for the things that you have.
I'm not going to pee on the lawn though because our large dog like pees a gallon when he pees, and there's dead spots everywhere where he pees. That shouldn't be. I think wild animals should be able to pee without harming vegetation. Wouldn't that, be correct?
That's just too logical.
I feel like, animals should be able to pee in the great outdoors without killing things.
I actually hadn't thought of it. Hadn't crossed my mind.
Very bothersome because,
of all the things to be bothered by, that's not...
I have a wedding business to run. I can't have just all these big dead polka dots all over the lawn.
You have a point.
And he doesn't. That my dogs do not poop on the lawns. They're very good about knowing that they have to go off into the woods.
You can borrow my spikes, and you can spike those areas and treat them specially. Have a little special treatment of grass seed and fertilizer, I guess, and water and compost.
I need to just stop him from peeing on them.
No, you can't.
I know.
You're not going to have control.
God. So
there are some things that we have control over and other things that we do not.
I know.
And this is one of those weeks it seemed like there was so much that we were not in control
of. I'm
really
mad this week. I'm just super mad, and I'm not usually mad. Sometimes I'm sad, but I'm not usually mad, and I'm mad this week.
I've been so mad this month.
Yeah.
People aren't used to me being mad.
I know.
So they don't like me, and I'll have to put up with that for a while, like being not liked because I'm actually expressing mad. I'm mad.
It's not fair. I feel like other people get to go around being mad all the time.
They sure do.
And I don't stop liking them because they're mad, but I feel like I can't get mad or people will stop liking me.
We tiptoe.
Like I have fragile relationships where I'm not allowed to be how I need to be.
Right. We're the tiptoers of the world.
And I know it sounds totally immature to be saying that something is not fair, but it's not.
Well,
I don't feel very mature this week. I feel pissed.
That's okay. We're good. We're good to go on that. Let's go all the way rather than trying to suppress it, because I think we'll get somewhere. We'll get to a new land, like Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
He didn't really.
I know, but
he
didn't. He's a fake thing.
He didn't come here. I'm mad at him too. He's part of the problem.
Okay, so who sailed the ocean blue for real?
I mean, no.
Leif Erikson?
He sailed
Do you trust him? Do you trust Vikings?
I trust Vikings a little more.
Okay, so let's be like Vikings this week. In fact, that works quite well, but to be like Vikings.
All right.
Because we can be blundering around with great Celtic wisdom.
I'll need a little helmet with some horns on it and a big red beard.
Oh.
I feel like that would complete the...
Okay.
Where did all the Vikings go? You know, you see like Irish people around still. You see, but where's the Vikings?
There's a few.
Where?
I've seen some.
Do you ever go in the co-op and just see somebody in a helmet with horns?
Sometimes. You're just
sorry. I'm in such a bad mood. I'm so
sorry. I'll tell you what.
What?
We're gonna just go off in a different direction just to try to shift the mood, because if we talk about it, we'll go back to it, because we do need to go back to it. But let's start with a vocabulary word.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Tell me what this is.
Okay.
Credenza.
It's like a sideboard.
Oh, good for you.
It's a fancy word for a little sideboard.
Okay, that was pretty easy.
That was totally easy.
All right, I didn't know what a credenza was. This like credentials?
No, I think it's like Italian, like a what's it called? What's the word for a patio?
Pizza.
Piazza. It's like that.
Okay.
All right. Try again.
Okay, here's the Floridian word of the day. Floridian. So this is from
a place that's going to fall off the earth, I think, in the next day or so, right?
Well, that's why this probably came up, okay? Because my friend Tate Earl, who used to live in my house, his family used to own my house, right?
Yeah.
Tate. He posted something today.
I like that name.
Yeah, Tate's a fantastic person. And so his little, I guess he called it a meme, right, today, was the Floridian word of the day is namaste, as in, y'all gonna evacuate?
No, I'm gonna stay.
Namaste. No, you have to say it with a Floridian
accent. Sorry.
Yeah, namaste.
I get it.
Well, I guess you had to be there.
Why would you want to stay in Florida? I mean, I feel bad because everybody loves their home, but Florida is just not right.
Well, some people are taking off. I know someone who moved. My astrologer left Florida and moved to the Rocky Mountains to be, at a higher altitude.
Astrologer left. I would be
following her
out of there.
I know.
As much as I don't believe in that,
you kind of do. You just don't want to say you think there's anything there, but there might be a few things, a few tidbits for your birthday. Must be soon.
It's like I think it's like Sunday.
Okay, you think.
All right. We have all kinds of other crap going on, so I just have to ignore it. And I forgot how old I'm going to be too, which is weird. My mom asked me the other day. And which I was already annoyed because why did she ask me? Like, she birthed me. She should maybe remember.
Right.
But she couldn't, and I couldn't really, but
your mother couldn't remember your birthday.
Well, she couldn't remember how old I was going to be is what I think was the point. She knew when my birthday was.
Oh, and she was too lazy to do the math.
She's not good at math, and neither am I. I think I'm going to be 42. I'm pretty sure.
The math is actually kind of confusing because it's very easy to be a year off, right?
Well, I was born in 77, and that's an odd number, and I don't do well with odd numbers unless they're fives.
And if you're born in December, like me, then you only had a month in that super year.
Confusing.
So, yeah.
Well, I wasn't. I was born in September, but still.
I mean, I'm pretty good at math when I have to be.
I'm never good at math, even when I have to be. I'm less good at math when I have to be.
Yeah. But it just takes me a while. So I need sort of extra minutes during the test to get the test done. But if you give me enough time, I'll figure it out.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be 42.
Okay.
I mean, it would come as a really unpleasant shock if I was actually going to be 43 or something, because I just wasn't prepared for that.
We could figure out an elaborate system with our 2 birthdays. Like when I turn 62, you're already 42.
Oh, so we don't have to remember one of us.
Yeah, so you turn first. You turn to the next number before I do.
Okay. Wait, because we're like 19 we're like 19 years apart, right?
Well,
or 19 and a half. 19 and 3/4. 19 and up till December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's extra confusing. I don't know, Christina, how we're going to figure this system out.
Okay, forget it.
You don't seem 20 years older than me. You seem like 10 years younger than me most of the time. So, not fair.
It's interesting. Age is interesting, and especially with radio shows that you can't, you develop these pictures of what people are like.
No, what do you think?
Radio.
If people have never seen us, what do you think they think we look like?
I have no idea. I don't know.
The train, too. Just saying.
Oh, good, because we missed it last week.
I know. Some very disappointed listeners.
The door.
You can open the door.
Open it in time.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll hold my microphone over by this open window.
Oh, man, that's... Even the kids were excited.
They're always excited.
That is so fulfilling.
It doesn't take a lot to excite them.
That, fills a need. What is the need that fills? I can't figure it out.
I'm envisioning all the people I want to be run over by trains in front of it.
No, it's like time stands still.
Oh, that.
And so you go into a state of sort of bliss just for, I don't know, how many seconds would you say that was? Let's see, maybe 15 seconds.
Today.
15 seconds of bliss, is that so much to ask? And finding it in the strangest places.
I know what my problem is. I haven't eaten cheese, Christina, for like 2 days.
Why?
Well,
what's going on?
I don't know. I was trying to
did you run out?
No, I just was thinking that maybe I should not eat so much dairy. So I haven't been. Plus I was feeling super fat, and I'm sure that the dairy is that is what's doing it probably, because that's my number one food group. So I thought, why don't I just try not eating some? But it's horrible.
Well, I
kind of would just rather be fat.
Here's the thing. When you're having a bad week, don't quit stuff. Don't try to improve your life.
Well, I don't have a lot to quit. I don't have a lot of vices. I don't drink. I don't smoke. There's not a lot I could quit.
Yeah, but you felt bad this week, and then you denied yourself one of the things that you love, which is cheese.
I know.
I just think that was wrong. That was self-abuse.
It was probably very wrong.
That is self-hatred and self-loathing.
What I ate yesterday? I ate a banana, and I hate bananas.
Oh, that made it worse. So much worse.
I was really seething as I was chewing on this disgusting banana.
But you ate it anyway. You kept eating. You forced yourself. You said, I can't waste this food, or I'm a bad person, but I'm a bad person anyway.
Yeah, I definitely was thinking that.
You're so bad.
Bananas are the stupidest.
They have it. They have like one perfect day.
I know.
One to two, so 1/2,
and they make
days.
The most like weird squishy noises when you chew them. Like you cannot keep a banana quiet.
Okay, it's not your favorite fruit, but don't get down on bananas.
I like it pureed up in smoothies, but a banana flavor is like putrid.
But that's not made from bananas.
I know. It just, it's sort of tainted bananas now. The fake banana flavor has tainted bananas for me.
Oh,
just saying.
This is a modern problem, isn't it? That flavoring can spoil the flavor of the real flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that 15 seconds of bliss sure went by fast, and now we're back to the old routine of trying to dig ourselves out of a hole. Okay, let's see. Should we... What is that noise?
They're moving all the toxic earth off of that soccer field down there, so I think it's a big dump truck coming. Yep, see, here it comes. Little late in the game, boys. It's already soccer season. Why are you scraping the toxic dirt off the field now?
What's with the road markings that they kind of blacked out?
Yeah,
and then they have those plastic baseball cards.
They're so unnecessary right now. It's like they put more of those little reflector road things on than anyone would need in like 50 miles worth.
And where is it an issue of like, where's the true center of the road?
I don't know. And did you notice that like they painted lines on it, and then but they left the reflectors. No one scraped them up. I guess they just wait until you like mash them over into little bits.
But they're in a different place.
And they moved the reflectors over, and then after they painted the lines, they went back and took the lines off and put like a rumble strip in the center.
Yeah, I just hate this.
And now they're going to go back and paint lines again.
I hate what's going on.
Get your act together, people. What? Like,
it's so confusing, and we have to try to figure out every day.
Here.
Every day they change things, and we are just left scratching our heads and spending all this time and energy in just trying to contemplate what it is about the road that we drive on that makes it so intense.
It's a little ironic that we are scratching our heads and using so much time and energy, wondering why they're using so much time and energy. Like, that's what we're doing. We're all just wasting time and energy.
It's a
every
plot.
Freaking minute of the day.
It's the Vermont Road Transportation Agency.
You do not want to even see online all the things that people
that's
say
what I'm saying. They're getting back at the public.
Hours and hours worth of complaints.
They're trying to make us go crazy. They're gaslighting us because they keep switching where the line is, right?
They are, yeah. I was like gaslighting myself on the way here because I was pushing all these buttons in this stupid Prius, which has a screen in it, and I don't know how to do things with screens.
It's smart.
It's supposedly smart, even though it's the oldest Prius ever made. It's like literally the first Prius ever made. So it doesn't even get good gas mileage. There's no point to it. But anyway, I'm pushing all these buttons, and I'm driving through Tunbridge Village because I'm just trying to turn the fan down because I can't find the heater because it's all touchscreen. Just want the fan to go down because it's blowing cold air at me, and I just want to shut it off or put like a real heat on. Yeah. But I can't find it. And in the process, I must have hit the button that switches the speedometer from miles per hour to kilometers per hour because I'm going through Tunbridge Village, and all of a sudden I see that I'm doing 58 in the village. And I'm like, oh my God! I am so out of it and so beside myself this morning that I'm doing... But I didn't know that I'd switched it to kilometers, so I literally thought I was doing 58, when really it's like 38, right? I mean, it's like 20.
I don't know.
It's so much slower.
It's so confusing.
In my crazed brain, I'm creeping through the village. Yeah, I think I'm doing 58 miles an hour, and I panic because I go slower and slower, and I cannot figure out what's going on.
You're trying to obey the law.
And finally, I see tiny little, kilometers per hour written next to it. I'm like, oh, I must have hit something.
That's like too much information. Pushing. Too much information is coming in all at once that the brain is trying to process. And not only that, but it's information you don't even care about.
It just doesn't make any sense why I would literally be crawling along. I mean, you can get a feeling of how fast you're going. You can. I've driven that road 1
I can
say,
times. I'm driving about 37.
Right.
I do that all the time.
I know. And yeah, I honestly was so discombobulated that I thought I was going like nearly 60 miles an hour through the village.
Yeah, you thought it was true. You thought your life had turned into a nightmare suddenly that was spiraling out of control. I'm with you.
When you just see something out of context, you can't really feel it. Your brain is always tricked. Like, you can't believe your eyes, but you do believe your eyes. You always believe your eyes. It's really weird.
There is so much discombobulation.
Once I was mowing the lawn at my parents' house when I lived in their apartment, and I was mowing their lawn with their little push mower. And I get into a zone when I'm mowing. I'm a mowing person. I like to mow. Mm-hmm. But my brain blanks. And that's why I like to mow, because my brain blanks out for a little while. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. It's the hum and the motion. I just am soothed, and muscle memory just makes me mow. I'm good at that. And all of a sudden, as I'm mowing, there was a toad. And I don't know if you've ever seen toads do this, but they punch their front little fists down into the ground and they almost walk along. Have you ever seen a toad do that? Instead of hopping, toads have a way of walking that's you know how toads' front arms bow in like this? Kind of.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Instead of hopping, they can actually walk if they want to.
Waddle. It's like a waddle.
But the way that it is, since they have little bowed front legs, I saw this toad, and the way it was walking, I said to myself, there's a tiny miniature little gorilla walking across the lawn right now. It looked like a gorilla.
Did he have a limp?
No. But I'm just saying, and then a few minutes later I came to and I said, what the hell? That was a toad. And you just thought it was a tiny miniature gorilla.
It was a gorilla.
Because it looked like your mind said, look at how it's, the way gorillas swing themselves along on their front arms. My mind said, look at that little gorilla. And I kept mowing. And then I kind of freaked out because I said, wow, you're in such a spacey place when you mow that you just thought a toad was a gorilla, and that did not surprise you at all. A miniature gorilla, nonetheless.
It's a little dangerous.
Yeah. So
to be in that state.
Jesus, God, what is wrong with me? And I started to really question my sanity at that moment.
I know.
But it's mowing. That's my weird, I get it's like drugs. My mow drugs.
Right.
They're all trippy and I see gorillas.
I hear ya.
Where there are no
And
gorillas.
then you denied yourself cheese. The same day, probably, that you saw that little miniature gorilla.
No, I didn't. That was years ago. I haven't seen any gorillas since then.
Okay.
Because I've now been very strict with my mind. And I say, damn it, that's a toad.
Yeah, let's get real. Let's try to stay on the reality track while we're mowing, at least.
If I was going to see a gorilla, this would be totally the week to see a gorilla because I'm all just spazzed out. And we have one car at the moment because the other one's been in the shop for weeks getting its brake lines redone. And, of course, the kids have started school and soccer, and we are on the road every second trying to juggle around everything in one car when we need to be 5 places at once.
I know. Or your car is smoking.
Yeah.
And when you drive into the gas station to get gas, everybody panics because they think your car is going to explode. Yeah. And I thought, actually, this guy looked over at me. I pulled in, and I thought, he actually thinks I'm pretty good looking. He's getting some attention. Then I said, no, he's freaking out because he thinks my car is going to explode.
You were smoking hot.
That was the truth. Okay, let's go to a song.
What, is it time?
Yeah.
Did we play one already?
No, we're actually past time
because
we got all garbled up with
I also didn't
delusions.
Get any sleep, no sleep, none, because my dog kept barking all night at nothing. So
okay, here comes a dump truck.
All right, maybe start the
Better
song
start
then.
this. Okay, this is Too Many Hands by Lori Oz.
Sometimes hard to find, like a rainbow. so good to you. One of these days she might shake you to the ground, but her fire is still burning and her heart is still yearning to be
Thank you, Lori Oz. So, want to do a little personal growth Friday since we've missed it for a while? Because we're into the gnarly stuff, we might as well go all the way.
If I can grow, I'm also like covered in mold and hell.
Well, help me today. Grow. Help me.
All right, I'll help you grow.
Sometimes it helps just to help somebody else.
Okay.
So, what do you do if you like run into somebody you haven't seen for a while that you really didn't want to see, and they say
all the time,
and they say to you, "Can I have a hug?"
Ugh.
Let's talk about this for a minute.
I don't know. Why are they saying it? Do they really want a hug, or do they just feel like that is a necessary show of?
Well, honestly, I think it was manipulative. I think it's like your sleazy uncle saying, "Can I have a kiss?" when you're 14.
It's to make you feel like you can't say no, because that
would
be wrong.
You feel guilty to say no. Like you feel like, oh, he just wants a little huggy poo, right? And this happened to me, and it was in a public place, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a person who worked in the store who was right next to us, and it's
a ploy to make you look like a bitch.
Yes, so everything in me was screaming, I don't want to do that. I don't want to touch this person.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to make a scene.
Yeah.
In front of somebody else.
And they're counting on you not wanting to make a scene so that
exactly.
they can make you feel bad inside.
It's a setup.
So you had to.
And it's almost like the kind of people who do that. It's so automatic to them.
Wish I had the guts to throw that kind of thing right back in people's face and actually just fully out right then. I mean, I'm too trained to
please people and be codependent,
not make the scene, and and I'm making air quotes when I say take the high road, because you know what, the high road is stupid sometimes. The high road really means you don't get to say how you feel. That's what the high road really means. The high road means you get to get walked on and you have to take it. That's what the high road means.
This situation was
Which
perfect.
Sometimes I guess is an okay thing to do, because sometimes making a scene does make you feel horrible later, but why don't we ever get to make the scene?
Yeah, I'm at the point in my life where the fact that I didn't stand up and say no, because I really strongly felt no.
Yeah.
I have felt bad about it for the whole week. Like, if I could only take back that moment and stand up for myself and say no. And so now I don't know what to do, because I can't take it back.
Well.
You know?
You have taken it back, kind of. I mean,
Well, it's an ongoing question to myself.
Totally.
Is that just having to look at how bad it made me feel to not stand up for myself and to continue to be a codependent person who is like people pleasing.
After like years of saying that you're different and you're stronger and you're
and then you just prove to yourself in that one stupid little moment that I'm still.
It's just one moment, though. It's just one moment. Everybody can slip up in one moment.
It feels like my whole life hinged around that moment. Like I had the perfect opportunity to just say no. Just no. Just the word no.
Right.
It's just a simple word. It's very small. It's not hard to say.
No, this feeling. Yeah. Every little bit of it.
Yeah. So
and how disgusted in myself I felt in that exact same situation.
Yeah.
Many times.
I hate myself.
Well, there goes all my years of self-therapy and self. Respect.
That was a test. The universe set up this wonderful little test for you.
Gone. That person still wins. That person still has the power, and I still am the nobody.
Yep.
But I don't think it's true, Christina. I think that's just what they wanted us to feel right then.
More self-abuse as well. I mean, I know I'm just adding insult to injury by feeling so stricken and full of self-loathing about it, but... I feel dirty.
I guess you can turn it. You can turn it on its head and say, you know what?
It's like Jeffrey
I'm going to pretend that I
Epstein.
did that because I literally didn't care enough to make the scene. Not because you were afraid to make the scene. So I think you can almost trick your head into saying, you know what? I don't care. I don't care that I did that, and I don't care. Scene or no scene, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well,
I know how you feel, exactly.
Yeah, it's like a very subtle form of sexual harassment, and a kind of a small moment of where someone takes control, which it's just
especially publicly because they know that.
Yeah, my programming is so deep on this. It is so deep, that I feel like I always have to say yes to some kind of advance like that. Mm-hmm. It's awful. I make a public declaration that I'm, hoping this will shift.
I know. Well, I think we have to start teaching our children early on that if you don't want to be touched by somebody, you don't have to be relative, not relative, anything. Like, we're so pushy about things like that, especially with little girls. Like, I think
I had that.
Go give Aunt Bertha a kiss, go this, go that, let people pinch your cheeks. Be a good girl. And it's just not... I don't know. I feel like jerky because I don't raise girls, so I feel like I have to I don't know. I don't know what to do. I know I have to raise my boys to be different from the boys that are out there, but it's hard to know what to tell them about stuff like that.
Well, I think setting a good example in the home is always the best thing that you can do, just in terms of what kind of relationships you model to them.
My kids have seen all sorts of effed up relationships.
Yeah. Well,
they've
seen both. They're just not one-sided, but
step outside of the ickiness of it. I would be very interested to know what kind of relationship my kids or what approach my kids are going to have to relationships someday.
Yeah.
Which model they're going to pick and what the outcome of that is going to be.
Well, that's one good thing about my kids is even though I'm still suffering the consequences of this sort of toxic cocktail of abuse and compliance, my kids have seemed to avoid it. They have great relationships with their spouses and fiancés and boyfriends and girlfriends. So, maybe we
can hope.
Maybe there is hope. Yeah, maybe there is hope. Okay, spelling word.
All right.
All right. Ready? Got your pen? Mm-hmm. Kaleidoscope. That's a tough one, I think. But who knows? Sometimes you surprise me and you do really well with these words.
No. Kaleidoscope.
What are you coming up with?
God, I don't really know.
Just venture a guess.
Kaleide.
Wait, slower.
Kali. Or is it an E?
E-I. I'll give you a clue. It's a E-I, because that's impossible. How would you know that?
Kaleidoscope. I before E except after C? Where's your C now?
What? Okay.
I before E except after C.
Oh, but there's no C's, so you can't use the rule. So
you can never use the rule. Neighbor.
No, it does work. It does work.
How?
Conceive. Let's see. C-O-N-C. There's that dump truck.
They are like desperate to take away the poison before little children start running on that field in like 1 minute. Like, why didn't they do that before now? Nothing like waiting till the last minute. Here,
yeah, let's spray it. Then let's spray it with some bleach or some pesticides and herbicides to get rid of any vermin.
My ex-brother-in-law, who has colitis, always thought that song, the song with the girl with kaleidoscope eyes, he always thought it was the girl with colitis goes by. Because, when you're kind of like, think about your own issues, you see them.
You just said that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Your family, man.
Anyway. Okay, so Kaleide.
Yeah, that tripped me up. A doscope.
D-O.
A kaleidoscope. Or kaleidoscope.
COPE.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting to spell correctly.
Why can't I spell? I'm a writer. I'm a reader. I've seen every one of these words that you've asked me usually, like many times. So why are they not imprinted in my head enough that I could actually spell them?
Because there's some things going. There's cross currents of logic and phonetics and stuff that are all wicky-wacky. And the mind is trying to make...
I just thought I was a better speller than this.
It's like trying to put all these weird ingredients together and make something that tastes good. It just doesn't always work, and the brain is rebelling against that. It's good. You're a rebel.
Before there was Google, I used to have to call my sister at work at the law school and ask her how to spell stuff because I was too lazy to like get out a big dictionary and look it up. It was way easier.
It was easier to call.
Yeah,
on the phone.
I mean, first you got to go find the dictionary off the shelf, and then you got to like.
Writers have dictionaries on the desk. Anthosauruses.
Well, I never did. It was always on a shelf because I wasn't like a writer who got to like write for real for a living. This was just like
that would be what
I snuck some time.
That helps
when my
you
babies
become
were sleeping.
A writer is to have your dictionary. It's a kind of a moral.
Well, anyway,
prop.
I had to get it, and those little pages are very thin.
Yeah.
And aggravating, like. And they somehow reminded me of like a Bible. Bible pages are just like dictionary pages, and that sort of creeps me out. Like,
so your dictionary was creeping you out.
So I would just call. All I had to do is dial 7 numbers and just be like, Jen, how do you spell kaleidoscope? And then she is actually weirdly, even though she's not a reader and not a writer, is just a very organized little person. So she would know how to spell it right away. She's just weird like that. She has no memory of our childhood or memory of basically anything that happened 5 minutes ago, but she could remember how to spell pretty much every word. If we put all of you sisters together into one body, an okay human. You would have a titan. You would have an amazing giantess of prophetic proportions. Maybe and not. I think as a unit, you function that way. And that is how we always did function. Sometimes there's some conflict. Sometimes there's some, there's an amazing bond which perseveres through the decades. Kind of. Sorry, I didn't sleep last night. I love your timing of your yawning. If we could do a scientific study, I think we would discover some things about your... That I only yawn when you're saying your most profound things. I think it says more about you than it says about me, the kinds of things that put you to sleep or that you're trying to avoid. I'm not avoiding them. You're trying to get more oxygen, so you're feeling depleted. You're trying to little more sleep. You want to get away, so you don't want to wake up, but your body says you got to stay awake because you're on the radio. Yeah. You can't fall asleep on the radio. We could try that. We could have a special one day where we actually fell asleep on the radio. And I'm sure our listeners do you want to do that? No. I don't think I could fall asleep on the radio. I can't fall asleep on command. It's odd that I'm always so sleepy because I am an insomniac and I can't actually sleep when I try to. So if I snuggled down in this chair and tried to close my eyes and sleep, I would never sleep. But you're just relaxing here. Yeah, relaxing is different. Because we're among friends. Yes. We are certainly among friends. And we feel that friendship bubbling up through the ethers. Through the wires. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Because we can feel so depressed and alienated and anxious during the week. But when we come here and all that friendship... week. Why? It was. It just was like every little problem had to crop up and everything that made me feel like I was a hideous, ugly, stupid, pointless, worthless person. Why do you and I not communicate when we're feeling at our worst? Because I had like so much crap to do. But I was like, I'm not going to go bother Christina with all my crap because she has crap to do too. That would have helped me because I had so much crap. Well, you can probably take comfort in knowing that if you're having a crappy time, like I'm probably also having a really crappy time somewhere. Yeah. So
That works like, I'd say 8 times out of 10.
Pretty much.
It doesn't work when you're on vacation.
No, that's why I shouldn't even complain, because I had a nice vacation this summer. I had the nicest vacation I've ever had. But it's like the rest of the summer is being horrible enough to make up for that.
I know, but sometimes I have to turn you off on Facebook because your family life looks so happy.
It's just not that happy. I mean, it's happy, but it's like...
It's just, I'm just going through a period.
I always try to put a positive slant on everything, though, because if I don't, I would like lose my mind.
It's like trying to convince yourself. And it's true. I mean, it's not like you're not lying.
It all is true stuff. It's just that I can't. I'm often not as positive feeling about it as I portray.
So you're bolstering the affirmative.
I am.
And that's why I have to turn you off.
I see a lot of social media where people are not, I mean, it's fabricated. Mine isn't fabricated, but it's just not. I don't know how to explain it. I'm doing it to make myself feel better, not to make other people think I have a better life. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
I know.
I have to try and put positive vibes out because I'm hoping that positive vibes come back when you send them out.
Right. You in the process.
And nothing terrible. It's not like anything terrible is happening ever. It's just that like stuff just keeps happening that's a drag and you get tired of it. Like you could take like your leg being broken, but you can't take like 1 billion little mosquito bites all the time, you know?
Death they're by little, 1,000 cuts.
little aggravations all the time. But after a while that drives you crazy. It's like just break my leg and get it over with so I can move on without the mosquitoes. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain life being poor and busy and overextended and cranky and I don't know.
I have to play another song.
You better.
Yeah. Although you've given me much food for thought, so I'm not trying to avoid it.
That's perfectly fine.
But it's we're 5 minutes past our usual. It's all because I screwed up the opening. What do you call that? Overture.
Our overture.
It's not the right word.
Our prelude.
No, it's not a prologue. A prelude.
Prologue.
Prelude.
What is it? What's the overture? Did you say overture already?
Yeah, I did. Oh. No, there's a word that we're missing. We say it all the time.
Opening.
Intro. Okay, glad we found that word.
I know. Jeez.
I was getting a little worried. Okay, this is called Jesus, Me, and Whiskey, Carl Goulet.
Jesus, me, and whiskey is a ride I take alone. I like going places up to now unknown. This guy always shows up on the darkest days. Got so that I don't care if he goes or stays. Barely ever said a word, mostly we just stared. Think he only hung around for that bottle that we shared. Hey, you that guy that saved the world, that what you're here to do? Done that, I still have the marks, the rest is up to you. Find whatever, I don't care, we all have a reason. In the battle for my soul, I've committed treason. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. Think he only hung around to see if someone cared. Pass a bottle, pass a joint, pass a passing thought. Pass on asking any of the questions that I've got. Why bother fixing anything so hopelessly broke? He had a sense of humor, but I didn't get the joke. Barely ever said a word, mostly we just stared. Think he only hung around to see who else had dared. Can't play guitar for shit, but sure can hold his liquor. Been drunk under the table, but no one's done it quicker. I wake up from the nightmare and I'm hoping to see glory. Got another hill to climb and I see he's up before me. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared.
What a great songwriter, local songwriter, Carl from Windsor.
Carl from Windsor. My dad's been wearing his Windsor Hornets cap lately because that's where he graduated from high school.
Yep. Well, it was quite a week. I said some really stupid things this week. I said some good stuff. I said some true things. I said stupid things like I was working. It's funny working on Main Street right there on Chelsea Main Street.
Yeah.
Because, people stop and talk to you. And this one neighbor walked by and she's really nice. And she just leaned over the fence and said, "You're a hard worker." And I was in the middle of shoveling something, and I'm all hot and sweaty. And I just spontaneously said, "It takes practice." And then I thought, after she walked by, I thought, was that kind of insulting? Like, was I implying that I knew something about hard work that she didn't? Like,
no. I think I wouldn't know what you meant when I would hear that.
I wish I could say things that were a little bit more gracious or something, because she was just being nice. That was stupid. And then, let's see, I think it says, and then I said this other stupid thing at this other gardening job where my client came up to give me some vegetables, to offer me some vegetables from his garden. Mm-hmm. He said, would you like some vegetables? And so I said, yeah, I didn't have a vegetable garden this year. And then I stopped and I realized that I never have a vegetable garden. Like, I don't do vegetable gardening.
Well, you didn't want to feel... I know that feeling. I have said that exact sentence to people a couple times this year, and I haven't had a vegetable garden for a few years either. Well, but I didn't want to feel shamed because they put in the effort to have a vegetable garden, and I didn't.
Yeah, well, I just have never done vegetables, except in high school. So it went bad. But I said that. Then I blurted that out. I said, I never have a vegetable garden. So... that was a yes. That was my
I think
clumsy
you,
way of saying
me,
yes.
I get really nervous about social interactions, so I'm often blurting out something that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was super high strung this week too, because it was the start of school and all kinds of things. And when I dropped my kid off at high school for the first time, he was so nervous, and I was so nervous for him and nervous for myself. It's my kid and I have been with the same group of people and teachers and friends for the last, 8 years. It's in a small town, it's like a second family. And here's all new people who I don't know. And I was feeling a little just distraught and what if my kid doesn't have a good day and I don't know any of these people and there's so much new stuff here. And I just... anytime someone would greet me or speak to me, I said the most ridiculous thing. I wasn't even thinking what I was just blurting because I was a little freaked out. And so now they all think I'm psycho, I'm sure.
Well, it's just there's so much going on sometimes that it's hard to formulate your language to express what you're feeling. And
so
we're just not good at chit-chat. You and I are just not really good at chit-chat, let's face it.
I can be in certain circumstances, I have to be. I've run businesses. Yeah. I'm a dance teacher. I have to go up on stage in front of strange people at the beginning of, sessions all the time and introduce myself and talk about the dance. And
but that's not chit chat. That's when you're in charge of something.
But I make little good jokes and I try to make everyone feel welcome. And I'm actually good at that. But it's
but you're in control in these.
I am in control.
Those situations.
I'm not nervous, and I don't feel.
And you walk into a room with a bunch of strangers or half strangers, and you don't definitely feel in control.
They're not judging me the same way because they're there because they want to be there with me for some reason. And other times when I meet people out in the world, I feel like I'm throwing myself at them, and that's an uncomfortable position for me. I don't want to.
I hate judgment.
I don't trust that anyone's going to like me at all. So I go into every human interaction thinking, I got to do something to make this person not hate me quick.
Yeah, like just a nice smile or something like that, even. Sometimes a smile can go a long way.
To think that person is automatically going to hate you and you have to somehow diffuse that immediately.
Yeah. But some people are going to hate you anyway. We know that. So.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just so hard.
It is hard.
But I'm also just too fragile and sensitive this week.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. I had high drama at the job. The big dump truck from Central Supplies finally showed up with the 3 scoops of compost.
Yeah.
And he had to fit between these 2 granite posts.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We had to take the fence down so he could get the compost on the other side of the lawn. And the guy...
it was just 3 scoops. How come he just didn't dump it on a tarp and you, pull it down?
You can't pull 3 scoops down. It's
scoops,
a huge pile.
Like bucket loader scoops?
Yeah, they're huge. It's a lot. It's a lot of material. But he glided. He didn't even think twice. He just glided right perfectly between those 2 granite posts. And I just want to congratulate him. I think some people have it in their genes that they can just do stuff like that. I cannot back up for the life of me. I cannot back up anything.
My brother-in-law, Matt, can use heavy machinery like it's just an extension of his body. Like he could... some cable channel there was this competition. Okay, this is totally chauvinistic and sucky, but there's a competition where all these backhoe drivers, they had a woman wearing full clothing standing there, and this is like a game show.
Having what? Fall clothing?
Full clothing. She was wearing not
a bikini,
pants and a shirt and a coat and shoes. Anyway, the backhoe or whatever those things are with a little pincher. They're backhoes, but they have the pinch things.
Scooper.
The grabber pinchers on one end and whatever. These men had to undress the woman with the backhoe and whoever could do it. I mean...
wow.
And I think my brother-in-law could probably do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's the guys start with sticks, right? Sticks are an extension for a guy. It's part of you. It's almost like part of you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And those sticks, those simple sticks that become guns, they also become excavators.
It's a tool.
Right?
It's like they just want to have a tool.
They're into tools.
Hand.
And I'm into tools also, but it's kind of a different relationship. It's not an extension of myself. It's more something that works with me. It's cooperatively working with me to get a job done.
I wonder what that is. And it's not, I don't think it's fully sexist to feel like I don't have that built into me.
Well, you don't have a stick.
I don't care for sticks that much.
Well, sticks are okay. I'm not putting sticks down.
No, I'm not either. I'll pick up one sometimes for walking purposes.
I made some sticks. I made some nice little sticks this week because I was pruning, and I knew that the grandchildren were going to come to this garden and play. This is at a job, right? Mm-hmm. And so I cut the sapling up into these nice little logs, and I left it in the fairy woods because I knew they would play with them.
Yeah, they would.
So, but that's kind of my relationship to the stick was to, kind of figure out what could be done with it creatively. It wasn't an extension of myself per se.
You were actually acting. It was a nurturing act through the stick.
There we go, nurturing with sticks. Okay, you heard it here first on 11th Hour Radio, and I'm sure glad we hit on that truism and that little piece of wisdom, that gem of feminine, expertise.
I feel so not feminine this week. I feel like a lump. I feel like a hag. I know that's a stupid word, but I just...
That's why you like hanging around with me, because I just am totally falling apart and disheveled 24/7.
No, you always weirdly pull off femininity while not trying.
No.
And I have to try really hard, and I still look like a bozo.
Oh, so no. That is so not true.
It's true.
No, it is so not.
Yeah.
Liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I'm telling you.
Not even wearing pants. See, I'm wearing a dress. Yeah. You're wearing pants, but you are the girlier one, I think.
Oh, that's so weird.
No, if I don't know why it is.
You like my glasses?
Yes.
The glasses. I have to go to a recording studio this afternoon and act intelligent, like I know what I'm doing.
Oh, God,
so the glasses I figured would help. a little. It doesn't matter what I actually know. It's how I look, my image.
My son's...
sorry. We have to get off the air.
Have to get off. Okay, I won't tell that story then. But
okay, we'll save it.
It was a glasses story.
Okay.
I won't tell it right now.
All right. Well, we're going to go.
We will be better. I will be better next week. I just had a rough week. Yes, I will.
You're going to be the same you, and that's everybody.
I'm always me.
Don't change.
I'm always me.
Change.
I'm in a slump today. It was a rough week.
I outslumped you.
You have some slump.
Yeah.
All right. We have mutual slumpage.
Okay.
But you know what though? We got to figure out about the fair, what this radio station is doing, because I don't think I can get off. My fair person boss is like going to actually kill me.
Really?
For real.
Actually?
Yeah. I think I've told you probably that story, but
yeah, that's coming up pretty soon. We'll have to figure it out.
But next week is fine and safe, right?
Yeah. Okay. Next week should be good.
All right. We'll figure out what's going on for the T-Bridge Fair.
Okay. And you've been listening to 11th Hour Radio.
And some dump trucks.
We have some dump trucks. I'm Christina Stikos.
I'm Emily Howe.
Yeah. And we're going to be back next week. And thanks so much for listening.
We hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll try to.
Those dance hall girls, they'll treat you fine. They'll give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their minds. They'll fill you up with a lipstick lies, and they'll fool you, boy, so you better not be surprised. 'Cause that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. Well, I dug her mountains and I touched her plains. Bask in her sunshine, I got soaked in all her rain. I tried to be her lover, but I couldn't even be her friend. Thought I picked a winner at last, but it came out last again. And that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they called it sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. I tried to get a letter home, but that takes time, you know. I want to get some money, I want to go back home. 'Cause those dance hall girls can't stand to see a man alone. And that's the way it always is here in Baltimore. I must have chosen the wrong season to come down. I never realized they called it sacred ground. My sense of time, hell, I'm a week behind. They'll give you their bodies, but you'll never reach their minds. They'll fill you up with the lipstick lies. God, those dance hall girls sure can make a man feel alone. That's the way it always is here in Baltimore. That's the way it always is here in Baltimore.